Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, how I accidentally completed a 3-month project in 3 days. Law enforcement. Disk mirror. You already know how it ends, don't you? Your license is expired. The time I accepted a "do you know who I am" escalation. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. How I accidentally completed a 3-month project in 3 days. Oh boy, is this a long one. Apologies for formatting and how I tell the story, but I've been wanting to tell this for a while now, and I think enough time has passed, so I thought I would share. Backstory. Over a year ago, the IT department started using a new product for desktop management. This product is mainly used by help desk to remote into a user's computer for troubleshooting, but is also used by the department to remotely install/uninstall software. It was also around the same time our department decided to eventually switch from Office 20XX to O365, so we could start using Outlook. The plan was to start pushing out O365 to our smaller, remote sites first, then our HQ, department by department, gradually getting everyone used to it before we announced we were going to start using Outlook. As I said before, the desktop management product was new to the company, so the entire IT department was still trying to learn its features and quirks. One of the first things I learned about the product was that I could schedule an uninstall of one program and an install of another in the same configuration, but the uninstall had to be specific, i.e. if I scheduled an uninstall of Office 2013 Standard x86, but one of the machines had x64 or Pro x86, the push would fail. Another thing I learned was that if I filtered out the machines based on location, not every machine would get the push. If a user was working from home, technically they were not at the location, so they wouldn't receive the push. To save time, I would select our domain, filter it down to the OU the machines were in, then, if needed, exclude certain machines from receiving the push. This would cause a problem later. The tail. For the first month or so, I would push out the Office uninstall/O365 install every Friday night to 1 or 2 sites, then check on it Monday morning. The process was always the same: pick the site, check the Office version for each machine in the site, then create schedules to uninstall/install. Each schedule was based on what version the machines had. At this point, I only had a couple sites left before starting on our HQ. We expected to be done in about 3 months. So one Friday, I am getting ready to schedule the push to one of the remote sites. There's only about 20 machines in this site. I go about my normal procedure, compare Office versions between machines, create the schedules based on Office versions, check on Monday. I started creating the schedule, pick the time, 11 p.m. that night, select the domain, filter down to the OU, start putting in machines to exclude. At some point, I noticed one of the machines I excluded is incorrect. I click to remove it from the list, but all my excluded machines disappear from the list. Weird. I thought, but it shouldn't be a problem. Just add the machines to the excluded list again. At this moment, I get distracted by a coworker that there's a meeting I need to be a part of, and it starts in 1 minute, all the way on the other side of the building. I quickly double-check the excluded list, click deploy, and head off to the meeting. After the meeting, I finished scheduling another push for another site, 10 machines, then go home. The process had become so repetitive, I don't even think to double-check the schedules. The following Monday morning, I arrive at work at 7 a.m. I'm in a pretty good mood, which is kinda rare for a Monday. I get logged in, get my headset ready for any calls, then start checking on my pushes. I check the other site's upgrade first. 10 machines successfully uninstalled Office 20XX and installed O365. Everything went according to plan. Awesome. Go check the other site, 700 plus machines successful, 550 plus fail. What? Why did 1200 plus machines receive the push? Apparently, when I clicked on the incorrect machine to remove from the excluded list, and all the machines in the list disappeared, it also wiped out my filter for the OU, thereby going to the entire domain. 1200 plus PCs, laptops, and servers. My good mood is immediately replaced by panic. I run to the sysadmin and inform him what had happened. He chuckles and says, "That makes sense. I was getting alerts all weekend that the servers were having service stops and CPU usage was higher than normal, but it would clear up after about 15 minutes. I thought there was a driver update or something. Then the on-call person comes in and tells me he received calls non-stop all weekend from users who were having issues with Word and Excel, asking them to sign in. Once my boss comes in, I tell him exactly what happened. Still learning how to use the new product, I got distracted, but I didn't double-check my work. I own up to the mistake, and tell him I'll spend as much time as I need to make it right. The aftermath. My boss wasn't upset. In fact, he wanted everyone switched over to O365 as soon as possible. By pure luck, my mistake happened to do exactly what he wanted, except for installing on the servers though. That's still my bad. He sent out a company-wide email, letting everyone know we were eventually switching over to Outlook, just needed to get the software in place first. Users that used any Office product regularly would need to call the help desk to get their license set up so they could get signed into it. By 9 a.m. that morning, we had licenses applied to the entire company. I spent the rest of the day doing cleanup. Everyone was really cool about it. They waited about a week before they started giving me crap. As for the company, everyone not in IT appreciated the heads up about the transition, and they actually looked forward to the switch. I now double-check my pushes every time, no matter how big or small. Law enforcement. Disk mirror. You already know how it ends, don't you? A city's police department did not have a support contract with us, but the town hall did, so the PD would intermittently call us. Because they were on accessible VLANs to the town hall, troubleshooting was easy. I took the call. PD point of contact was a thoroughly unpleasant and technically inept officer who apparently was our contact because she could turn on a computer without assistance. The server had a blinking orange light. Yes, good afternoon to you too. After going through the usual speech, you don't have a contract, time is billed in 15-minute increments at HIGHVALUES, etc. I dive in. Yes, I see the primary disk has failed. I checked and this server, note, not purchased through us, is still under its 3-year warranty. You'll need to contact the manufacturer at website with this disk serial number of long string of letters and numbers from Seagate spinning rust. When the warranty drive comes in, do you want up to come out, swap the disks, and rebuild the RAID array? No. You charge too much, I can do it. Not even a blink. That's kind of how she is. Okay. Please make sure you have a good backup before doing anything with the disks in case something goes wrong. It's rare something does do sideways, but it is a possibility. I know what I'm doing. Fair enough, and I ring off with the usual pleasantries, write my notes, and close the ticket. 4 days later, my phone rings with same said officer. All the data is gone. What did you do? Insert spiel about billing costs, etc. I remote into the IDRAC and take a look. Yup, data's gone. Check some more. Yup, definitely gone, and it's time to tread carefully. I see what's happened. The dead disk was replaced, but the RAID rebuild wrote the blank disk over its mirrored disk rather than the other way. The data disk had been overwritten and will be unrecoverable. Cue her losing her sh*t, it's all our fault, we need to get this up and running, etc. Sergeant, I calmly reply, I've pulled up the original call, and we did offer to come to perform the work but were waived off. The data is not recoverable from that disk. We should be able to restore from the last known good backup. May I remote into your system to check? Grudging assent. I look through their backups, all red, all failed. 4 months. When was the last time you looked at the backups? I'm sure them all redlined with failures going back for as far as it maintains records, about 90 days. The previous admin said that was normal. She's been in this position of tech support for at least 3 years. I lag a moment and almost BSOD'd at that comment before recovering. Sergeant, the data on the disks is gone, and the backups are no good. What does this server do, precisely? It holds all the arrest records and mugshots. I see. There is a recovery company we use. While I cannot guarantee the data is recoverable, I can put a call into him for you. He charges even higher values and all time is payable whether successful or not. I have yet to see him recover nothing. Forget it, and she rings off. I have no doubt it's entirely our fault in her eyes too. Your license is expired. I work for a software development company. The software we make is free, but the content in it books are subscription-based. Today I've got a message from my boss. B, hey, can you try and open a book on an iPad? Its article number is TH123ABC. TH stands for Thai language book. Me, sure. I grabbed an iPad, opened our software, logged in, searched for the book, it opened without a hitch. Me, it works, what's the problem? B, a client of ours subscribed for this book, but he's getting errors about expired licenses. Me, strange, but it works on my account. B, try a test account. Yeah, good idea, mine is a company super account, has access to all the books. Took a dumb test login, subscribed for the book, and it opened. Me, still works. After a few other checks, tries and futile solutions, everything looked absolutely perfect. We even asked the customer's permission to try it with his account. He gave permission, I logged in, and the license was valid on my computer. On his, expired. I couldn't help much further, so I went on with my other tasks, while my boss tried to help the client. An hour later I've got a message from him. B, I've got it. It turned out Thailand uses a different calendar. Currently it's year 2563. So his license for the year 2020 did expire. 500 years ago. The time I accepted a "do you know who I am" escalation. I was working internal technical support for a large firm. So one evening I got a call with an unusual question. How do I get something removed from the firm's internal employees' homepage? I don't think we had ever gotten a question like that before, as we usually resolve questions related to the laptops that the staff and suits carry. But we keep contacts to other departments as needed. So I gave my usual spiel about how I didn't have that information right away, but I'd be happy to find out and contact him back with who he needed to reach. He said something like that's just not going to work, and asked me to humor him for a few moments and visit the intranet page in question. While I'm pulling it up, he asks if I'm aware that our company tabulates the votes for a major entertainment awards show. I said that I'd indeed been told that. He then had me look at the poll of the day, a usually frivolous survey of homepage visitors on some sports or pop culture topic. That day's poll was, what should win the, listing several likely nominees. Do you see the problem here, he asked. I had to agree out of context, it could be taken to hint that our company might have a favorite to win. Now realistically this would have no impact on the assigned task, but they take the whole appearance of impropriety thing deadly serious, and obviously the poll had to go. The caller then said okay. I'm the senior partner in charge of the contract, and here's what's going to happen. I'm going to stay on your line while you make whatever calls you have to, and I'm not going to drop off the line until the poll no longer appears on the website. I need your undivided attention to this issue until it is resolved. We got partner calls all the time, so I wasn't exactly fazed, but the issue and its importance were so plain it was easy to decide to go right along with his plan. I let my manager know, she agreed, and I spent the next 45 minutes or so alternately updating the caller and making and escalating to appropriate contacts to find someone with the authority and ability to clear the poll from the site. He was quite polite and patient so long as he knew that I was staying on task. Eventually I found the right person, and they took care of it. So all in all it was a pleasant interaction, but one of the more interesting nights I'd had on the job. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.